Yo, what up? We're back in the kitchen. Tonight, we're gonna do some steak and potatoes. I'm gonna keep it simple. Usually I do a baked potato, but tonight we're gonna do some fresh cut French fries. We got our petite filet, and then we got our Idaho potato. I'll show y'all how to cut that in a quick second. When making fries, you wanna start off by cutting them the long ways. Cutting them in half, and then we're gonna cut them twice coming down the side like this. One, two. Put it back right on the side, and then from there you're gonna come down the side and make little fries. Like so. Alright, we're gonna take all these fries and we'll drop them into some boiling water for about 5 minutes. Okay, now that these are done par boiling, we're gonna remove them for the water and we're gonna let these dry off. And now these are ready to drop into the fryer now. So whenever we're ready to cook them, we're gonna take them and drop them in a 375 degree. Now these are ready to be dropped. All right, we got a little piece of filet already put on some butcher bought pepper. So I like to use that. It adds a little crust to the outside of it, but we're also gonna add some Himalayan sea salt on both sides. I've also put some EVOO, which allowed this to stick. And that's pretty much all we need. We're gonna make sure that crust's in, and that's ready to go to the cast iron. All right, you got an extremely hot cast iron. I'm gonna add in some EVOO. We're gonna switch that around the pan. And now we just wanna lay the steak face down, push that down, and leave it. Now while that's cooking, I'll also like to throw in a piece of garlic and saute that on both sides. Get it nice and brown, and that's gonna we're gonna add that to the dish as well. All right, now it's time to flip this boy and put it in the oven at 350. You got a nice crust on that side, and we're gonna just lay this garlic right on the top of this. Going in an 8-minute oven. Now every steak is different. What I have right here is probably a 6 to 7 ounce steak. We're only gonna put that in the oven. I kind of treat it like fish because it's so delicate. It's a filet. It can overcook just like that. So to cook it at medium, we're gonna put it in the oven like I showed you at about 8 minutes. Now if it's a thicker piece of steak, you wanna leave it in a little bit longer, usually between 9 and 11 minutes for a nice piece of steak. But every steak is different, so keep that in mind. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make with steak is whenever they pull it out of the oven, they leave it in the pan that they're cooking it in. And that's the worst thing that they can do because the steak will continue to cook. So you have to make sure you transfer that from the pan to a plate, and then you must let the meat rest after it's done cooking, at least 10 minutes. Small pieces, a little bit less, but for the majority of them, 10 minutes is good for all pieces. All right, it's time to finish the fries now. Let's go. All right, we're at my fryer right now, set to 375. We're gonna drop these for about 6 minutes because they've already been cooked slightly, so we don't have to drop them in for too long. While the fries are cooking, we're gonna saute up some mushrooms just because that's what I like with my steak. It's always salt and pepper. Now that they're sweating, add some ginger, garlic salt, and that's give that a mix. We'll turn this down and add some unsalted beef broth. We're just Just gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes on low. All right, time to check on these fries. Perfect. When they're floating, that's how you know they're done. All right, time to bring them out. Make sure to season them right when they come off the fryer as they're hot. Hit them with some garlic salt and some Cajun if you like some spice. Can never have enough Cajun boy, and then you just give them a toss. Those is rested to go. Boy, look at them things. Now that the mushrooms are done, it's time to make a sauce. Back to the cast iron. We're gonna start with some beef broth. Bring that up to a boil. We turn that oven back up to high, medium high. Get that to a nice boil. And then from there, we're gonna add some heavy cream. Time to stir that. Give that a stir. Time to stir that. All right, we're gonna bring that back to a boil. We're gonna turn this down. And we're gonna give this a stir and let that come together. Once that comes together, it's ready to go. Also add a little bit of garlic salt to that and some pepper. Just gonna transfer that. All right, let's see it. Perfect. Look at that thing right there. I like to cut it into nice, small, manageable pieces so I don't have to be cutting it while I'm trying to eat it. This is a finisher. I like to top my finished product off with some smoked sea salt. Don't tell nobody, okay? Thank you. And you got the final product. This thing looks perfect with the sauce on the side.